It all started after the emotional storm between Maurice Sam and Sonia Uche, the tears, the breakdown, and the silence that followed. Fans were still processing everything when Ruth Kadiri, one of Nollywood's most respected filmmakers and actresses, dropped a statement that sent the whole industry into total confusion. Welcome back to Gistway TV, your number one home for all the deep, hot, and shocking Nollywood gist that everyone is secretly talking about but no one wants to say out loud. Smiling face with heart eyes. Please make sure to subscribe, tap that notification bell, and stay locked until the end, because this gist will make you see Maurice Sam in a completely different light. Let's get right into it. Ruth, who is known for her honesty and boldness, said something during a recent interview that has now gone viral. Maurice is not the same anymore. I don't know what happened, but the spark we all knew is gone. Those words hit like thunder. Bomb. Fans immediately went crazy. What does she mean he's not the same? Did something happen on set? Is he sick? Is it about Sonia? Or is there something deeper nobody knows about? And that's where this gist begins. For those who don't know, Ruth Kadiri and Maurice Sam have worked together multiple times. In fact, Ruth has directed some of the most loved romantic dramas featuring Maurice. She once described him as one of the most disciplined young actors in Nollywood, humble, creative, and full of life. But according to Ruth, something has changed. In her words, you can see it in his eyes. You can tell that he's fighting something we can't see. She didn't mention Sonia's name directly, but the audience immediately connected the dots. Because ever since that emotional fallout between Sonia Uche and Maurice Sam, people have noticed that Maurice hasn't been himself. Gone is the bubbly actor who would joke with everyone on set, sing during breaks, or dance after a rap. Instead, crew members are now describing a quieter, withdrawn version of Maurice, a man who arrives early, does his job perfectly, but barely speaks unless it's necessary. One production assistant even told a blogger, "He's professional, but he's cold. Like someone who left part of himself somewhere and never went back to get it." Now, that alone was enough to raise eyebrows, but it got even more emotional when Ruth Kadiri posted a cryptic quote on her Instagram story just days after the interview. The post read, "Strong men don't cry out loud, but their silence can be louder than a scream." And she added a simple emoji, broken heart. That was it. No names, no context, but everyone knew exactly who she was talking about. Within minutes, the comment section exploded. Asterisk, she's talking about Maurice Sam. Asterisk, Ruth, please check on him. Oh, he's been through a lot. Asterisk, if only Sonia could see what he's becoming. Asterisk, he's not just hurt, he's broken. The fans weren't exaggerating, even those who've met Maurice recently have been saying the same thing. He's still polite, still charming, but his laughter doesn't reach his eyes anymore. Now, here's where things take a deeper turn. An insider close to Ruth Kadiri's production house revealed that during a recent shoot, Ruth had to stop filming for a few minutes because Maurice suddenly became emotional in the middle of a romantic scene. At first, everyone thought it was part of the performance. But when the director yelled cut, Maurice reportedly walked off set, went behind the cameras, and sat in silence for nearly 10 minutes. No one said a word. The whole set froze. Ruth later approached him gently, asking if he was okay. Maurice's response, according to the insider, was quiet but heartbreaking. "I am fine. Just remembering something I shouldn't." That single line sent chills down everyone's spine. People started whispering, could it be about Sonia? Was that scene too familiar to a real-life moment between them? Nobody could say for sure, but the tension was undeniable. Now, fast forward to Ruth Kadiri's statement, it's clear she's not just talking about an actor losing motivation. She's talking about a man who's been emotionally altered by something deep, personal, and painful. And that's when fans started connecting more dots. Remember the video of Maurice crying weeks ago, the one everyone said showed him breaking down after Sonia's declaration? People thought it was a moment of weakness. But now, some are saying it might have been the beginning of a deeper emotional shift. He's not acting sad anymore, he's become that sadness. Let's pause here for a moment. Because we need to talk about what Sonia said recently that might have added salt to the wound. Just days before Ruth's interview, Sonia Uche attended an industry event where she was asked about second chances in love. Her response was graceful but firm. Some stories don't need a sequel. The lesson was the closure. Boom bomb dot. That line hit hard. Fans immediately connected it back to Maurice. People said, this is the final blow. Because to many, Sonia's message meant she has moved on completely, no reunion, no forgiveness, no looking back. And hearing that, then watching Ruth talk about how Maurice isn't the same anymore, painted a picture of a man silently drowning in heartbreak. But there's another twist to this gist, one nobody saw coming. Another Nollywood source hinted that Ruth might have more insight than she's letting on. Apparently, she and Maurice had a private conversation a few weeks ago, where he allegedly opened up about feeling emotionally lost and professionally disconnected. He reportedly told her that fame feels empty without peace. That line alone reveals so much. Because remember, Maurice has always been that actor who pours passion into every role, especially the romantic ones. But now, sources say he's avoiding roles that involve deep emotional chemistry, perhaps to protect himself from reliving the same emotional patterns. Ruth Kadiri, being the empath she is, couldn't keep quiet. She said what she said, not to expose him, but to make people understand that sometimes, even strong men crumble silently. But fans, as usual, didn't let it rest there. Some began dragging Sonia online, saying things like, "You turned a good man into a shadow of himself." Others clapped back immediately, "Stop blaming women for men's emotions. Maybe he had his own fault." The internet split into two, Team Maurice versus Team Sonia, again. But through all this noise, neither Maurice nor Sonia has said a word. Silence, as usual, has become their loudest statement. Now, here's where the real bombshell drops. During a backstage moment at a recent award night, Ruth was reportedly overheard telling a colleague that she's praying for Maurice to find peace again. The colleague allegedly asked, "Is it that bad?" And Ruth sighed and said, "You can't act love when your heart is bleeding." That line spread across social media within hours. It made people realize Ruth isn't exaggerating. She's genuinely worried about him. Some fans even began tagging him with encouraging messages. "We love you, Maurice. Stay strong. You'll smile again, King. Pain doesn't last forever, healing does." And that brings us to the question everyone is now asking, what exactly happened to Maurice Sam? Was it the heartbreak? Was it the pressure of fame? Or is he just going through that phase where even the brightest lights start to dim for a while? Whatever it is, one thing is sure, something inside him shifted. Maurice Sam, once the poster boy for Nollywood's modern romance, has now become the face of silent pain. And it's people like Ruth Kadiri who've had the courage to say it out loud. But here's what might surprise everyone, sources close to Maurice say he's not angry at Ruth for speaking up. In fact, he appreciates her concern. He reportedly told a friend, "She sees what others don't. I'll be fine, I just need time." And that right there gives a little hope. Because maybe, just maybe, this is not the end of Maurice Sam, it's the beginning of his evolution. So, my people, here's the lesson hidden inside this gist: pain changes people, but it doesn't have to define them. Maurice might be going through his lowest moment now, but as Ruth Kadiri said in that same interview, even broken stars still shine, they just shine differently. And that's the truth. What do you think, my people? Is Maurice just dealing with heartbreak, or is there something deeper behind his sudden emotional shift? Do you think Sonia might reach out privately after hearing Ruth's statement? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below, because this gist is not just about love, it's about healing, strength, and how life changes people when nobody's watching. And as always, thank you for watching Gistway TV, your #1 source for everything real, raw, and trending in Nollywood. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it, because tomorrow's gist might just be bigger than this one.